I'll keep this fairly short so you know who I am. I'm also currently a member of the IFLA governing board, and I have to say that for the last couple of years, a group of us who are part of IFLA have been trying to create a special interest group for library publishing, or a SIG as IFLA calls it. One of my co-conspirators here is Melanie Schlosser. You will get to meet Melanie throughout the course of this. Another co-conspirator is Reggie Raju, who is an assistant director at the University of Cape Town Library in South Africa. So we've been working very hard on getting this SIG to happen, and IFLA has a series of protocols that one has to go through to get a SIG approved. We finally managed to do this last December, and I mean like 3 months ago. And so I don't know how it happened, but almost immediately these Irish librarians got in touch, Jane and Marie, and said, oh, we are really keen on library publishing and we would love to host something in Dublin. And I think the correspondence went something like this with Jane and Marie. I said, well, maybe we could do a satellite meeting just before the Athens conference in August, or maybe we could do something a year later just before the WLIC meeting in Auckland, New Zealand, or something in between. And they said, no, that's not soon enough. So, with that kind of enthusiasm and pressure tactics, what are we to do? So I said, well, it is typical, it is not uncommon, it's common in IFLA that different groups have something we call midterm meetings, which are really like mini conferences. And those are normally in February, March, and the next thing I knew, they were giving me dates of, February 28th and March 1st. So, how can one resist? This is the first ever event of the IFLA Library Publishing SIG, and I thank you so much to Jane and Marie and the colleagues here who have stepped up in the most amazing ways to create registration forms, programs, issue calls. We had a wonderful response from everyone. And we are just very, very pleased to do this and to be here. So you'll be hearing more from my colleagues. We're hoping that those of you who are speaking will have some sort of either text or PowerPoint slides or something that we can make available to the wider community, your community here in Dublin, in Ireland, and also the IFLA community. Many of our colleagues would have liked to have come, but they just, they just can't go to so many meetings quite so often. And so we've kind of promised them that there would be something for them to look at to get a flavor of what has transpired here. This is a great meeting venue. It's a perfect size. So I hope we have some great discussions, and thank you so much for coming.
We put on the weather especially for this meeting. Those of you who've been here for the last couple of days will have been able to bask in the sunshine. Just to warn you that 12 months ago we were experiencing one of the worst snowstorms that we'd had here in Ireland, the beast from the east. So we hope that there's no snow, but then our friends from Arizona may wish that there were snow, who knows. Welcome to Ireland, welcome to Dublin, welcome to DBS. It's very encouraging for me. Normally I come to these meetings, as Jane said, that for those of you who don't know me, I usually come to these meetings and I do know most people. The nice thing about this meeting is I know very few people, which is very encouraging for me. It shows that we've been able to welcome and encourage lots of people who don't normally come, maybe normally come to Ireland, don't normally come to these events, have come to this event as well. So you're particularly welcome. And yes, especially the delegates from overseas. I haven't managed to count how many delegates there are, or even how many countries represented, but there are indeed an awful lot of you here from overseas, so you're particularly welcome here today. There are also lots of speakers and delegates here from Ireland, and I think that is very encouraging also. It shows that the subject matter of the meeting has hit a chord here, particularly in Ireland. Jane's already talked about the enthusiasm and the pressure tactics of the DBS organisers of the conference, and I think it's that enthusiasm and pressure tactics that have enabled DBS to publish the amount that it has published, and to gain the kudos that DBS Library has gained in the library publishing world. So I think it's only right that DBS should be hosting this meeting. But there's also a lot of other library publishing going on around Ireland as well, mostly in the academic libraries. Also some of the public libraries as well are getting into library publishing. And you'll hear about some of that over the next 2 days here at the conference. But there is also a lot more going on under the radar. And I think, again, we particularly welcome this meeting here. Because it will encourage more libraries here in Ireland to get involved, engage with others, and to share experiences, which is what it's all about. I've said privately already that the Library Association of Ireland is very keen to engage more with IFLA, so I'm particularly pleased that Dublin is hosting this meeting, the inaugural meeting of the IFLA Special Interest Group Library Publishing. And I hope that will go down in the IFLA annals. That in looking back over the years of a hugely successful SIG in IFLA, people will hark back to the inaugural meeting in Dublin that laid the foundations for the future successes of the SIG. We look forward to some great discussions over the next 2 days. I can stay this morning, but then I have to go, I'm afraid. But we hope there's going to be some great discussion over the next 2 days, as well as the making of some great friendships and some good working relationships. As it says in the aim to the event aims to bring together a broad spectrum of publishing presses and associations to exchange knowledge and to foster networks and mentoring relationships amongst librarians with an interest in this area. Looking at the programme, I'm sure that this meeting will achieve all of those aims. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.